Hello, all. Welcome to Indian Techies. Now, today our next topic is types of languages. So, to understand how internally programming works actually, we need to understand what are the types of languages. We are having three types of languages, that is machine or binary language, second one is assembly language, and third one is high level language. In the recent markets, we can also find natural languages also. Since that is not our discussion, now we will be having a in detail discussion about this. Coming to the first one, machine language or binary language. A language which is understandable by machine, a computer hardware which interacts with computer hardware. The language will be in the form of ones and zeros, like this. Any of the combination of ones and zeros. In the olden days, they used to communicate with the form of ones and zeros. We used to give input in the form of ones and zeros, and we used to get output also in the form of ones and zeros. So it will be a difficult task for any person to understand this format, because even right now at this present second also, a computer cannot understand any other language except ones and zeros, that is machine language only. Communication in this machine language ones and zero, that is binary, 1 and 0, only 2. So it is considered as a binary also language. For this purpose, they have moved from machine language to assembly language. Because every time whenever you want to communicate, giving input in the forms of ones and zeros would be a difficult one. Okay, it will be a typical one. For that purpose, they have built some library files and they used some shortcut codes in the assembly language where you call it as a mnemonic codes. Remember, this M is silent. Mnemonic codes. Okay, for example, instead of using ones and zeros, they used to use some instructions where it consists of instructions like MOV, ADD, SUB, END, etc. These types of instruction has been used. Means these are the frequently and regularly used mnemonic codes. The inbuilt ones and zeros will be there inside internally. Library files. Whenever we use this one, its related library files will be loaded. Okay, generally we use this one in physical devices, programming in a typical physical devices. Now, if you want to build this one, what are the frequent operations that we are going to perform? Based upon that, they used to develop these mnemonic codes. Right? Now, assembly language. To convert assembly language into a machine language, then we used to have a program called as assembler. Because a computer cannot understand directly the assembly language. In order to understand that one, this assembly mnemonic codes should be converted into machine language, that is ones and zeros. This move, add, sub, and are the mnemonic codes. This has to be converted into binary language with the help of an assembler. So at this right now, at this present second also, a computer or a hardware cannot understand any other language except machine language. Now, since it is not user friendly and you cannot write whatever you want, that's why they have shifted to the next language called as a high level language. A high level language is easily understandable by a human being because we use some English and symbols in a particular format to understand easily and to represent a program easily to a computer hardware. Even though you have written in the high level language, internally this high level language program that you have written will be translated back into the machine language or binary language, that is in the form of ones and zeros. It performs operations in the form of ones and zeros only, produces output also in the form of ones and zeros only. But before it displays to us, again it is translated back into high level language so that we can understand easily. But at the same time, we feel that whenever we are trying to write in English or whatever understandable language by the user, we feel that it is understanding whatever we are typing. No. whatever we are typing, it is internally converted into machine level language. Since this translation is very fast, we are in a dilemma that it is understanding my language, my communication. But no computer or electronic gadget cannot understand any other language except machine language, even right now, the second, at this present second while you are watching this video. Right? So these are the different types of languages that are available in programming. Right? Coming to the next topic, the topic is about compiler and interpreter. Actually, we can discuss this compiler and interpreter before, but once you understand the types of languages, then you will get what is the actual use of compiler and interpreter. So we have discussed types of languages, then we are coming to the next topic called as a compiler and interpreter. Now, C uses compiler. For example, we are saying that whenever we write any program in a C editor, whatever it may be, we say that compiler will check errors. First of all, how do the compiler check the errors? See, remember one point, compiler does not have inbuilt C rules. You can say in our terms like compiler is just a mediator or an interpreter is just a mediator. They don't have inbuilt rules and regulations of any of the programming languages. Everybody is in a dilemma that it consists of rules inbuilt defaultly. No, that is a wrong assumption. Now, what is a compiler? A compiler can be called as a software or a program, or you can call it also a set of programs. What is the duty of compiler? Compiler is used to convert, translate your high level language, the program that you have written, into machine level language. So, user writes the program in English with set of rules and symbols. That language cannot be understandable by a machine or a hardware. So, you have to instruct the hardware to understand it. For that purpose, compiler is a software or a program which helps you to convert your high level language that you have written to machine level language in the form of ones and zeros. That is the major advantage. At the same time, it will also check whether there are any errors in your program. What do you mean by error? You will be writing the program as per the instructions of the Dennis Ritchie, right? So once you have written, now compiler will compare the rules of Dennis Ritchie and the rules that you have written in your program. If it is not matching, obviously it is considered as an error. That's why it will check errors. Next, all the lines will be compiled at a time. Your total program that you have written will be compiled at a time. Alright? Next, compiler is fast. Compiler is fast. These are some of the properties of a compiler. Now, at the same time, we can go for interpreter also. Now, again, what do you mean by interpreter? Interpreter is also same like compiler, like it's also a software or a set of programs or a program. It is also used to convert your high level language into a machine level language. It is also used to check whether there are any errors in your program. But compiler scans all the lines at a time. When you come to the interpreter, it will scan only one line at a time. It will not scan whole program at a time. It will go by step procedure. Since it is going one by one line, then it is considered as slow when compared to the compiler. Interpreter is slow when compared to the compiler. Generally, C language uses compiler. But when you come to this one, Perl, PHP, etc., you can also use Ruby language also uses this interpreter. Now, you will be having a doubt, then what about Java? Java will be using compiler and interpreter, which would be, it will be easy. Compiler and interpreter. Java compiled bytecode will be interpreted. So you can say that Java uses compiler as well as interpreter. These are the major disadvantages or advantages between the compiler and interpreter. So here it is fast. Here the disadvantage is slow. Right? Now when you see a compiler converts your high level language into the machine level language. This is not done directly. When this high level language that you have written the program, this machine level language is considered as the ones and zeros. So this generation is not done directly. In between this high level language and machine level language, there is an intermediate code generation. Because high level language cannot be directly converted into machine language using the compiler. In between an intermediate code will be there, it will be high level generated. High level language will be generating intermediate code. That intermediate code will be converting into machine language. But when you come to interpreter, high level language will be directly converted into machine level language. There is no intermediate code generation. Because if you know the differences between these, you will understand how actually C program is being executed. The major points here are compiler and interpreter converts high level language to machine level language. Both are used to check the errors. The major difference is compiler scans all the line at a time, interpreter scans only one line at a time. If you understand these differences, it will be easy. That's why we in this previous class I have told you that C is fast because C uses compiler, not interpreter. So that's all for compiler and interpreter. Thank you for watching my classes. I request all of you to like, comment, share, follow and also subscribe to get the notifications directly into your mobile. Thank you.